The World Trade Center is a 16-acre commercial complex in Lower Manhattan that connected 7 buildings, a large plaza, and an underground shopping mall that connected 6 of the buildings. The centerpieces of the World Trade Center were the Twin Towers. The Twin Towers were the tallest buildings in New York City. They provided 10 million square feet of office space for about 35,000 people and 430 companies. In 1973, they were the tallest buildings in the world. The North Tower rose 1,368 feet to 1,730 feet with a large antenna, and the South Tower stood 1,362 feet high. There was enough concrete in the buildings to build a 5-foot wide sidewalk from New York to Washington, D.C. On September 11, 2001, the entire complex was destroyed in a terrorist attack that had become to be referred as 9/11.
9/11 is shorthand for 4 coordinated terrorist attacks carried out by Al-Qaeda, an Islamic extremist group that occurred on the morning of September 11, 2001. On the morning of September 11, 2001, 19 terrorists from Al-Qaeda hijacked 4 commercial airplanes, crashing 2 of the planes into the upper floors of the North and South Towers of the World Trade Center complex, and a 3rd plane crashed into the Pentagon in Arlington. The Twin Towers ultimately collapsed because of the damage from the impact and the resulting fires. Flight 93 fought back, and the plane was crashed into a big empty field in western Pennsylvania. The attacks nearly killed 3,000 people from 93 nations. 2,753 people were killed in New York, 184 people were killed at the Pentagon, and 40 people were killed on Flight 93. The hijacked flight was crashed into the floors 93 to 99 of the North Tower at 8:46 a.m. The hijacked Flight 175 struck floors 77 to 85 of the South Towers. 17 minutes later, at 9:03 a.m., when the towers were struck, between 16,400 and 18,000 people in the World Trade Center complex.
Al-Qaeda is an international Islamic extremist terrorist group founded in the late 1980s by Osama bin Laden that claimed responsibilities for numerous terrorist attacks since the early 1990s, including the 1998 U.S. Embassy bombing in Kenya and Tanzania, the 2000 attack on the USS Cole, and the 9/11 attacks. The terrorists did not have the capability to destroy the U.S. military, so they set their sights on symbolic targets instead. The Twin Towers, as the centerpieces of the World Trade Center, symbolizing globalization and American economic power and prosperity. The Pentagon, as the headquarters for the U.S. Department of Defense, serves as a symbol of American military power. It is thought that Flight 93 was headed to the Capitol building, the center of American legislative government.
The fires from the impact were intensified by the plane's burning jet fuel. They weakened the steel support trusses, which attached each of the floors to the building's exterior walls, along with intentional damage to the building's structural complement. This ultimately caused both towers to collapse. The 5 other buildings in the World Trade Center complex were also destroyed because of the damage sustained when the Twin Towers fell. The collapse of the building left the site devastated, with ruins towering roughly 17 stories and the spread beyond 16-acre site. Thousands of volunteers came to Ground Zero to help with the rescue, recovery, and cleanup efforts, and on May 30th, 2002, the last piece of the World Trade Center steel was ceremonially removed. 9/11 was a very frightening and upsetting moment in history. It still affects people today because the people that were alive remember the day and can say what they were doing, their emotions when they found out, and things like that.
15 of the 19 terrorists were from Saudi Arabia. They were from the United Arab Emirates, 1 was from Lebanon, and 1 was from Egypt. They operated training camps there and openly lived in the country with the support of Taliban and Islamic groups that ruled the country. On September 2001, in a speech of a joint session of Congress, President Bush asserted any nations that continue to harbor or support terrorism will be regarded by the United States as a hostile regime. On September 11th, Memorial and Museum would be rebuilt along with office buildings, retail space, and transportation hub. This building was supposed to be expected to be complete in 2013.